In the name of Allah, welcome again my students of grade 11 in a new video. Today we are going to study some new vocabulary, explain some important structures, and finally answer exercises about these structures. Unit 7, Lesson 4 and 5. Let's start with the opener. Answer this question. Mention John Logie Baird's great achievement. Mention John Logie Baird's great achievement. Yes, he invented television in 1923. So, John Logie Baird's great achievement was his invention to television in 1923. New vocabulary. The first word for today, demonstrate. 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 So this word is a verb. Try to repeat it after me, please. Demonstrate. Meaning to show or make something clear. To show or make something clear. Example, John Logie Baird's great achievement demonstrated working television broadcasts. Next, prominent. 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 This word is an adjective meaning very important, famous, well-known. Example, his great achievement earned him a prominent place in the invention of television. Next word, transatlantic. 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 This word is an adjective meaning crossing the Atlantic Ocean or relating to countries on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. Example, he made the first transatlantic television transmission from London to New York in the 1920s. Next word, resident. 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 This word is a noun meaning a person who lives somewhere permanently or on a long-term basis. Example, last week the new resident who live in our area is a footballer in my team. Next word, half. 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 This word is a noun either of two equal periods of time into which a sport game or a performance is divided. Example, in the first half of the football match, the team felt a lot of pressure and tension. And this is our next word, tension. Repeat after me, tension. Tension. It's a noun and meaning stress, the state of being stretched tight. Next, disappointing. 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 Failing to fulfill someone's hopes or expectations. Next word, zealous. 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 It's an adjective having or showing passionate, enthusiastic. The team's captain, whose feelings and emotions were raised by the zealous crowd, revealed his real potential. Next word, reveal, reveal, reveal. It's a verb. To make previously unknown or secret information known to others. Potential, potential, potential. Meaning natural qualities or abilities that may be developed and lead to future success or usefulness. Next word, victory, victory, victory. Repeat after me, victory. It's a noun. An act of defeating an enemy in a battle, game, or competition. Example, our team won the match and the zealous crowd celebrated the victory of our team. Next word, bring about, bring about, bring about. This word is a phrasal verb meaning to cause something to happen. Example, it's noticeable that floods bring about a lot of damages. Next word, telecommunication, telecommunication, telecommunication. It's a noun meaning communication over a distance by cable, telegraph, telephone, or broadcasting. Example, it's known that telecommunication has made our life easier. Next word, teleprinter, teleprinter. Repeat after me, teleprinter. It's a noun also, and meaning a device for transmitting and receiving telegraph messages. Example, telegraph messages were sent by teleprinter. And let's summarize our words for today. Repeat after me, please. Demonstrate, demonstrate. Disappointing, disappointing. Half, half. Potential, potential. Prominent, prominent. Resident, resident. Reveal, reveal. Tension, tension. Transatlantic, transatlantic. Victory, victory. Zealous, zealous. Bring about, bring about. Telecommunication, telecommunication. Teleprinter, teleprinter. Now let's move to study a new grammar rule. Relative clauses. What are relative clauses? What do you know about relative clauses? Relative clauses start with the relative pronoun who, which, whose, when, and where. Who for a person, which for a thing, whose for position, when for a time, and where for a place. Example, the man who invented the first television system was John Logie Baird. In fact, some relative clauses tell us information we need, and some relative clauses tell us extra information that we don't need. Here is example. I'll never forget the day when I started working here. Other relative clauses simply give us extra information about a person or a thing. Example, my brother, who is a TV cameraman, lives in Kuwait City. This speaker has only one brother. The relative clause gives us extra information about him. And we use commas with this kind of relative clause. Let's move to study another thing, that is prefixes. What are prefixes? Prefixes are attached to the beginning of a word to make a new word. Example, redo, redo, unhappy, unhappy, and incomplete, incomplete. Now open your student's book, page 58. First question, find the relative clauses in 3 of the following sentences and underline them. One of the sentences doesn't contain a relative clause. You have 2 minutes and try to answer this question. Let's check your answers. John Logie Baird, who was a Scottish engineer, invented the world's first working television system, and here is the answer. Who was a Scottish engineer? It's a relative clause. Next, his early achievements, which demonstrate working television broadcasts, earned him a prominent place in the invention of television. Yes, here, which demonstrate working television broadcasts is the relative clause. Next, in the 1920s, Baird set up the Baird Television Development Company Ltd. when he made the first transatlantic television transmission from London to New York, and here, when he made the first transatlantic television transmission from London to New York is the answer. Question number 4. Complete these statements with relative clauses which contain necessary information. You have 2 minutes also and try to answer this question. Okay, read your answers, please. A TV presenter is someone who reads the news, interviews people, or works on a range of programs. Next, an inventor whose pace shouldn't be forgotten. Okay, an inventor whose potential was really realized shouldn't be forgotten. C, a good radio program is one which, yes, a good radio program is one which should include the latest news and reports as well as entertainment. Question number 6. Discuss these questions in pairs or groups. Do you like watching football matches? Why or why not? What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of watching sport on TV instead of watching it live? How do you think different sports have been affected by television scheduling? Okay, let's read your answers. Do you like watching football matches? Why or why not? Okay. What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of watching sport on TV instead of watching it on live? The advantages: it's cheaper, more comfortable, and quieter. We can see the match clearly because of the qualities of modern media production. And the disadvantages: The enthusiasm of sharing the audience and watching the players at the stadium is missing. Sometimes an electric cut may stop us from watching. How do you think different sports have been affected by television scheduling? Really, television scheduling has added to the popularity of different sports. It has added more finance to the sports. Open your student's book, page 59. Question number 1. Write the answers to these questions and try to work in pairs. A. We can add the prefix TELE to many words to come up with the new terms. Add TELE to the following. You may need to change their internal structure. Okay, you have 2 minutes. Try to answer these questions and we are going to answer it with each other. Okay, visualize, television, text, teletext, communicate, telecommunication, phone, yes, telephone, print, teleprint, fax, telefax. Nouns with 2 or more parts are called compound nouns. So, nouns with 2 or more parts are called compound nouns. Combine a word from list A with a word from list B to make compound nouns to complete the sentences below. A. Color, film, news, portable, radio, short, video. And list number B. Distance, signals, radio program, television, recorder, industry. Okay, you have 2 minutes. Also try to answer this question and we are going to see the answer with each other. Check your answers. 1. The space has not died because of television or video recorder. The film industry. Next. Marconi invented a system for transmitting radio signals. Telegraph wires were only used to send messages. Short distance. And to find out what's happening in the world, watch a good news program. 5. Having a space means you can record a TV program and watch it later. Having a video recorder. So the answer, video recorder, and it's a compound noun. Now write down the advantages and disadvantages of media generally. Advantages: it helps spread information fast. It's the most reliable source for forming public opinion. It brings into the innumerable achievements that are going in the country, and it acts as a deterrent to corrupt policies. Disadvantages: it can adversely affect the thinking capability of individuals. It can encourage destructive thinking patterns. It can also make people think or act in an inappropriate way. It can glorify detrimental issues. Finally, this brings me to the end of my lesson. Thank you for your attention and see you later.